What if the stories of ancient kings were more than just myths? What if they held secrets that could rewrite our understanding of history? Welcome to a journey through the shadows of time, where the ancient Sumerian kings ruled with divine authority and left behind cryptic legends that continue to baffle historians and archaeologists to this day. These rulers, shrouded in mystery, were said to walk among gods, wield unimaginable power, and leave behind tales that blur the line between myth and reality. From the immortal quest of Gilgamesh to the cursed reign of Enmebaragesi, the Sumerian kings were more than just rulers. They were legends. The Sumerian civilization, one of the earliest in human history, flourished in the fertile lands between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Their kings, often seen as intermediaries between the gods and humanity, left behind a legacy of epic tales, divine interventions, and unsolved mysteries. These stories, etched into clay tablets and passed down through generations, offer a glimpse into a world where gods walked among men and kings sought immortality. In this video, we'll uncover 35 of the most cryptic legends of these ancient rulers, from lost cities and forbidden knowledge to divine curses and ghostly apparitions. Each tale is a piece of a puzzle that has fascinated scholars for centuries. So, if you're ready to step into the world of the Sumerian kings, where myth and history collide, stay with us. By the end of this journey, you'll not only discover the secrets of these enigmatic rulers, but also see history in a whole new light. Let's begin. Now, let's step into the world of the first legend, where the line between man and God becomes blurred. The story of Gilgamesh, the semi-divine king of Uruk, is one of the most enduring tales from ancient Sumer. Known for his superhuman strength and ambition, Gilgamesh was a ruler who sought to conquer not just lands but the very concept of mortality itself. His quest for immortality is a cornerstone of Sumerian mythology, offering a profound exploration of human ambition, friendship, and the limits of power. Gilgamesh's reign was marked by both greatness and turmoil. As a king, he was both revered and feared, his strength unmatched and his will unyielding. But his arrogance and relentless pursuit of glory led the gods to create a counterpart, Enkidu, a wild man crafted from clay and brought to life to challenge Gilgamesh. What began as a fierce rivalry soon transformed into one of the most celebrated friendships in ancient literature. Together, Gilgamesh and Enkidu embarked on epic adventures, battling monsters like Humbaba, the guardian of the cedar forest, and the bull of heaven, sent by the goddess Ishtar to punish Gilgamesh for rejecting her advances. Yet, it was the death of Enkidu that set Gilgamesh on his most profound journey. Stricken with grief and confronted by his own mortality, Gilgamesh set out to find the secret of eternal life. His quest led him to Utnapishtim, the only mortal granted immortality by the gods, who survived the Great Flood. Utnapishtim's tale of survival and divine favor offered Gilgamesh a glimpse into the gods' will, but ultimately, his search for immortality ended in failure. He returned to Uruk not with eternal life, but with a deeper understanding of the human condition and the legacy he would leave behind. The legend of Gilgamesh is more than just a tale of adventure. It's a reflection on the nature of power, the inevitability of death, and the enduring bonds of friendship. It also provides a fascinating window into the values and beliefs of the Sumerian people, who saw their kings as both mortal rulers and divine intermediaries. Gilgamesh's story, preserved on clay tablets for thousands of years, continues to captivate us, reminding us that even the mightiest of kings are bound by the same human struggles we all face. As we move forward, the next legend will take us deeper into the shadows of Sumerian history, where curses and divine retribution shape the fate of kings. But for now, the tale of Gilgamesh stands as a testament to the timeless allure of these ancient stories, where myth and history intertwine in ways that still resonate today. Now let's journey further back in time to the reign of Enmebaragesi, one of the earliest recorded kings of Sumer and a pivotal figure in the Kish dynasty. His story is shrouded in mystery, not just because of his historical significance, but also due to the eerie curse that is said to have haunted his lineage. Enmebaragesi's reign marks a critical point in Sumerian history, where the lines between myth and reality blur, leaving us with tantalizing clues about his life and the forces that shaped his legacy. Enmebaragesi ruled over the city of Kish, a powerful and influential center in ancient Mesopotamia. His name appears in some of the oldest surviving records, making him one of the first kings whose existence is supported by both historical and archaeological evidence. Yet, despite his prominence, much about his reign remains enigmatic. What we do know is that Enmebaragesi was a formidable ruler, credited with expanding his kingdom's influence and laying the groundwork for future Sumerian dynasties. But his story takes a darker turn when we delve into the legends surrounding his family and the curse that supposedly doomed his descendants. According to ancient texts, Enmebaragesi's dynasty was plagued by misfortune, with many of his successors meeting untimely or tragic ends. This series of calamities gave rise to the belief that a curse had been placed upon his bloodline, possibly as divine retribution for some unknown transgression. Some scholars suggest that the curse may have been linked to Enmebaragesi's ambitious expansion of his kingdom, which could have angered the gods or rival rulers. Others point to the possibility of political intrigue, with rival factions using the idea of a curse to undermine his dynasty's legitimacy. Archaeological discoveries have added layers of intrigue to this tale. Excavations in Kish have uncovered artifacts and inscriptions that hint at the power and prestige of Enmebaragesi's reign, but they also reveal signs of sudden decline. Broken statues, defaced monuments, and abandoned structures suggest that something went terribly wrong for his successors. Whether these findings point to a literal curse or simply the turbulent nature of early Sumerian politics remains a subject of debate. What's clear is that the story of Enmebaragesi and his cursed dynasty captures the imagination, blending history and myth in a way that continues to fascinate us. The legend of Enmebaragesi serves as a reminder of how the ancient Sumerians viewed their rulers not just as mortal leaders, but as figures whose actions could invite the favor or wrath of the gods. His story also highlights the fragile nature of power in a world where divine will and human ambition often collided. As we move forward, the next legend will take us deeper into the heart of Sumerian mythology, where the gods themselves play a more direct role in shaping the fate of kings. But for now, the tale of Enmebaragesi stands as a haunting example of how curses and divine retribution were woven into the fabric of Sumerian history, leaving us to wonder where myth ends and reality begins. Now, let's turn our attention to the ancient city of Eridu, a place steeped in myth and regarded by the Sumerians as the very cradle of civilization. At the heart of this legendary city lies the story of King Allure, its first ruler and a figure whose reign is shrouded in divine mystery. Eridu, believed to be one of the oldest cities in human history, holds a special place in Sumerian lore, not just as a political center, but as a sacred site where the gods themselves were said to have walked among mortals. King Allure's story begins with the Sumerian belief that Eridu was the first city ever created, a gift from the gods to humanity. According to ancient texts, Allure was chosen by the gods to rule over this primordial city, marking him as the first king in a long line of divinely appointed rulers. His reign is often described as a golden age, a time when the gods and humans coexisted in harmony, and the foundations of civilization, agriculture, law, and culture were first established. But what makes Allure's story so intriguing is the way it blurs the line between history and myth. Was he a real historical figure or a symbolic representation of humanity's earliest leaders? The answer remains elusive, adding to the enigma of his legacy. Eridu itself was more than just a city. It was a spiritual hub, home to the temple of Enki, the god of wisdom and water. The Sumerians believed that Enki had created Eridu as a place where divine knowledge could be shared with humanity, making it the birthplace of not just civilization but also of sacred wisdom. This connection to the divine is central to the legends surrounding Ululim, who is said to have ruled with the blessing of Enki himself. His reign was marked by prosperity and order, a reflection of the god's favor. Yet, as with many Sumerian legends, there's a sense of mystery surrounding his rule. Some texts suggest that Ululim's divine appointment came with a price, a responsibility to maintain the balance between the human and divine worlds, a task that would prove challenging for his successors. Archaeological evidence from Eridu offers tantalizing glimpses into its past. The city's ruins, located in modern-day Iraq, reveal layers of history that align with the Sumerian accounts of its ancient origins. Excavations have uncovered remnants of temples, artifacts, and inscriptions that speak to Eridu's significance as a religious and cultural center. Yet, despite these findings, much about Ululim and his reign remains speculative. Was he a historical king or a mythical figure created to explain the origins of civilization? The lack of definitive evidence only deepens the mystery, inviting us to explore the interplay between myth and reality in the ancient world. The legend of King Ululim and the lost city of Eridu serves as a powerful reminder of how the Sumerians viewed their history, not just as a record of human achievements, but as a narrative shaped by the gods. Eridu's status as the birthplace of civilization reflects the Sumerians' belief in the divine origins of their culture, while Ululim's story highlights the sacred role of kingship in maintaining that connection. As we continue our journey through the cryptic legends of the Sumerian kings, the next tale will take us even deeper into the realm of myth, where gods and mortals intertwine in ways that challenge our understanding of history. But for now, the story of Eridu and its first king stands as a testament to the enduring power of myth and the mysteries that still surround the dawn of human civilization. Now, as we journey further into the realm of Sumerian mythology, we encounter a tale that intertwines love, power, and the rhythms of nature, the divine marriage of Dumuzid and Inanna. Dumuzid, often referred to as the Shepherd King, was a figure deeply connected to the land and its cycles, while Inanna, the goddess of love, fertility, and war, represented the forces of life and renewal. Together, their union was more than a romantic legend. It was a sacred bond that held profound significance for the Sumerians, reflecting their understanding of the natural world and the divine order. The story of Dumuzid and Inanna begins with Inanna's search for a partner worthy of her divine status. Among the many suitors vying for her favor, Dumuzid stood out not for his wealth or power, but for his connection to the earth. As a shepherd, he symbolized the pastoral life that sustained Sumerian society, embodying the care and nurturing required to maintain the balance of the natural world. When Inanna chose Dumuzid as her consort, their marriage was celebrated as a union of heaven and earth, a merging of divine and human realms that ensured prosperity and fertility for the land. But this union was not without its challenges. The myth of Dumuzid and Inanna is closely tied to the agricultural cycles that governed Sumerian life. According to the legend, Dumuzid's fate was bound to the seasons. Each year, he would descend into the underworld, a symbolic death that mirrored the withering of crops during the dry season. Inanna, in her grief, would mourn his absence, reflecting the barrenness of the land. Yet, with the arrival of the rainy season, Dumuzid would return, bringing life and abundance back to the earth. This cycle of death and rebirth was central to Sumerian beliefs, illustrating the interconnectedness of human life, agriculture, and the divine. The symbolism of Dumuzid and Inanna's marriage extended beyond agriculture to the realm of kingship. In Sumerian culture, the king was often seen as a mediator between the gods and the people, responsible for maintaining the favor of the divine. By marrying Inanna, Dumuzid was not only securing her blessings for the land but also legitimizing his rule as a shepherd king. Their union served as a model for the sacred marriage ritual, a ceremony performed by Sumerian kings to reaffirm their divine mandate and ensure the prosperity of their kingdom. This ritual underscored the belief that the king's authority was derived from the gods, and his ability to maintain harmony with the divine was essential for the well-being of his people. The story of Dumuzid and Inanna also reveals the complexities of Sumerian mythology, where gods and mortals often shared the same struggles and emotions. Inanna's grief over Dumuzid's descent into the underworld and her joy at his return reflect the human experience of loss and renewal, making the myth relatable to the people who told and retold it. At the same time, the tale highlights the Sumerians' deep reverence for the natural world and their understanding of its cycles as a reflection of divine will. As we reflect on the legend of Dumuzid and Inanna, we see how it encapsulates the Sumerian worldview, a world where the divine and the earthly are inseparable, where the rhythms of nature are mirrored in the lives of gods and mortals alike. Their story is a testament to the enduring power of myth to explain the mysteries of existence and to connect us to the forces that shape our world. And as we move forward, the next legend will take us even deeper into the enigmatic tales of the Sumerian kings, where the boundaries between history and myth continue to blur. Now, as we ascend from the earthly realm of Dumuzid and Inanna, we find ourselves drawn to the skies where the legend of Etana unfolds, a tale of ambition, divine intervention, and the timeless human desire to transcend mortal limits. Etana, a king of the ancient city of Kish, is remembered not only for his rule but for his extraordinary quest to secure an heir, a journey that would take him to the heavens themselves. The story begins with Etana's deep yearning for a son, a longing that echoed the importance of lineage and continuity in Sumerian society. Without an heir, his legacy and the stability of his kingdom were at risk. Desperate for a solution, Etana turned to the gods for help. It was through divine guidance that he encountered a wounded eagle, a creature of great significance in Sumerian mythology. The eagle, grateful for Etana's kindness in nursing it back to health, offered to help the king achieve his goal. Together, they embarked on a daring journey, a flight to the heavens in search of the elusive plant of birth, a mythical herb said to grant the power of fertility. As Etana and the eagle soared higher and higher, the legend paints a vivid picture of their ascent. The earth below grew smaller, and the heavens stretched out before them, vast and mysterious. This flight symbolizes not only a physical journey but also a spiritual one, as Etana sought to bridge the gap between the mortal and the divine. The themes of divine favor and human ambition are woven deeply into this tale. Etana's determination to secure an heir reflects the human drive to overcome limitations, while the eagle's assistance underscores the belief that the gods could intervene in the lives of mortals, offering hope and guidance. Yet the story of Etana is not without its challenges. As they neared the heavens, fear and doubt crept in. The sheer vastness of the sky and the uncertainty of what lay ahead tested Etana's resolve. This moment of vulnerability adds a layer of realism to the myth, reminding us that even the most ambitious endeavors are fraught with uncertainty. The legend does not shy away from portraying the complexities of human emotion, making Etana's journey all the more relatable. The plant of birth, the ultimate goal of Etana's quest, represents more than just a solution to his personal dilemma. It symbolizes the eternal human desire for renewal and the hope that even the most insurmountable obstacles can be overcome with divine assistance. Whether Etana succeeded in his mission remains a subject of debate among scholars, as different versions of the myth offer varying conclusions. Some suggest he achieved his goal, while others imply that his journey ended in tragedy. This ambiguity adds to the enigmatic nature of the tale, leaving room for interpretation and reflection. Etana's flight to heaven also serves as a powerful metaphor for the aspirations of the Sumerian kings. Like Etana, they sought to align themselves with the divine, believing that their authority and success were tied to the favor of the gods. The legend reinforces the idea that kingship was not merely a political role but a sacred duty, requiring both ambition and humility. Etana's story, with its blend of human struggle and divine intervention, captures the essence of this belief, offering a glimpse into the spiritual and cultural values of ancient Sumer. As we reflect on the legend of Etana, we are reminded of the enduring themes that resonate across time and culture: the pursuit of dreams, the quest for divine favor, and the courage to face the unknown. Etana's flight to heaven is more than a myth. It is a testament to the human spirit's boundless ambition and its eternal search for meaning. And as we prepare to delve into the next legend, we continue to uncover the layers of mystery and wisdom that define the cryptic tales of the ancient Sumerian kings. Now, as we descend from the celestial heights of Etana's daring flight, we find ourselves stepping into the shadowy realm of Lugalbanda, a king whose legacy is both enigmatic and deeply intertwined with the divine. Often overshadowed by his more famous son, Gilgamesh, Lugalbanda's story is one of quiet heroism and profound connection to the gods, offering a fascinating glimpse into the lesser-known corners of Sumerian mythology. Lugalbanda, the second king of Uruk, is a figure shrouded in mystery. Unlike the grand epics that immortalize Gilgamesh, the tales of Lugalbanda are more subtle yet no less significant. He is often portrayed as a shepherd king, a humble ruler who rose to prominence through his wisdom and divine favor. This duality, of being both a man of the people and a chosen servant of the gods, makes Lugalbanda a compelling figure in Sumerian literature. His reign is marked by a blend of earthly leadership and spiritual devotion, reflecting the Sumerian belief that kingship was a sacred bridge between humanity and the divine. One of the most intriguing aspects of Lugalbanda's legend is his close relationship with the gods. Unlike many kings who sought divine favor through grand gestures or elaborate rituals, Lugalbanda's connection to the divine was deeply personal. He was said to have been blessed by the goddess Ninsun, who would later become the mother of Gilgamesh. This divine lineage not only elevated Lugalbanda's status but also set the stage for the epic tales of his son. The bond between Lugalbanda and the gods is a recurring theme in his stories, emphasizing the idea that true power comes not from conquest or wealth, but from a harmonious relationship with the divine. Lugalbanda's heroism is also a key element of his legend. While he may not have embarked on quests as grandiose as those of Gilgamesh, his deeds were no less impactful. One of the most famous tales recounts his journey through the mountains, where he faced numerous trials and tribulations. Despite the hardships, Lugalbanda's resilience and resourcefulness allowed him to overcome every obstacle, earning him the admiration of both mortals and gods. This story serves as a reminder that heroism is not always about grand gestures. Sometimes it's about perseverance and the quiet strength to endure. Another layer of Lugalbanda's legend lies in his role as a father. While his own achievements are remarkable, his greatest legacy may be the son he left behind. Gilgamesh, the semi-divine hero of the epic that bears his name, inherited not only his father's throne but also his divine connection. This continuity of power and divine favor underscores the importance of lineage in Sumerian culture, where the legacy of a king was often seen as a reflection of his relationship with the gods. Lugalbanda's influence on Gilgamesh is a testament to the enduring impact of his reign, even if his own story remains in the shadows. As we explore the shadowy reign of Lugalbanda, we are reminded that not all heroes seek the spotlight. His quiet strength, deep connection to the divine, and enduring legacy offer a different perspective on what it means to be a king. Lugalbanda's story is a testament to the idea that true greatness often lies in the unseen, the unspoken, and the deeply personal. And as we prepare to uncover the next legend, we continue to unravel the intricate tapestry of the ancient Sumerian kings, each thread revealing new layers of mystery and wisdom. Now, as we step away from the quiet heroism of Lugalbanda, we find ourselves drawn into the enigmatic tale of Ur-Nammu, a king whose death remains one of the most puzzling mysteries of ancient Sumer. Ur-Nammu, the founder of the third dynasty of Ur, was a ruler whose legacy is as complex as the circumstances surrounding his untimely demise. Known for his contributions to law and governance, his story takes a darker turn as we explore the theories that attempt to explain his mysterious death. Ur-Nammu's reign marked a period of significant progress for Sumer. He is celebrated for establishing one of the earliest known legal codes, a groundbreaking achievement that laid the foundation for justice and order in his kingdom. His laws were not just about punishment but also about fairness, reflecting a deep understanding of human nature and the need for balance in society. This legacy as a lawgiver has cemented his place in history, but it is the mystery of his death that continues to captivate scholars and enthusiasts alike. The circumstances surrounding Ur-Nammu's death are shrouded in uncertainty. One of the most prominent theories suggests that his demise was an act of divine punishment. According to this view, the gods were displeased with some aspect of his rule, leading to his downfall. This theory is rooted in the Sumerian belief that kings were chosen by the gods and that their favor could be withdrawn at any moment. If a king failed to uphold his divine responsibilities, the consequences could be severe, even fatal. In Ur-Nammu's case, some interpretations of ancient texts hint at a possible transgression, though the exact nature of this alleged offense remains unclear. Another compelling theory points to political intrigue as the cause of Ur-Nammu's death. As a powerful ruler, he would have had no shortage of enemies both within and outside his kingdom. Rival factions, ambitious nobles, or even foreign adversaries could have conspired to remove him from power. This theory gains traction when we consider the turbulent nature of Sumerian politics, where alliances were fragile and power struggles were common. The idea that Ur-Nammu fell victim to a carefully orchestrated plot adds a layer of intrigue to his story, highlighting the precarious nature of leadership in the ancient world. Despite the uncertainty surrounding his death, Ur-Nammu's legacy endures. His legal code, often referred to as the Code of Ur-Nammu, represents a monumental step in the development of law and governance. It predates the more famous Code of Hammurabi by several centuries, making it one of the earliest attempts to codify justice in human history. The principles enshrined in his laws reflect a vision of a just and orderly society, one where fairness and accountability were paramount. This vision continues to resonate, reminding us of the enduring impact of his rule. As we reflect on the life and death of Ur-Nammu, we are reminded of the complexities of leadership and the fragile balance between human ambition and divine will. His story is a testament to the challenges faced by those who seek to govern, as well as the lasting influence of their achievements. And as we prepare to uncover the next legend, we continue to explore the intricate web of power, mystery, and legacy that defines the ancient Sumerian kings. Now, as we turn our gaze from the enigmatic death of Ur-Nammu, we enter the realm of Enmerkar, a king whose story is woven with prophecy, ambition, and a legendary rivalry. Enmerkar, the ruler of Uruk, stands out not only for his grand vision but also for the mystical elements that surround his reign. His tale is one of divine favor, monumental construction, and a clash of wills that echoes through the annals of Sumerian history. Enmerkar's most famous endeavor was his quest to build the ziggurat of Eridu, a structure that symbolized both his devotion to the gods and his desire to elevate his kingdom's status. Eridu, considered the oldest city in Sumer and the birthplace of civilization, held immense spiritual significance. By constructing a ziggurat there, Enmerkar sought to honor the gods and secure their blessings for his people. This ambitious project was not just an architectural feat but also a statement of his divine mandate to rule. The ziggurat, with its towering presence, was meant to bridge the earthly and the divine, a testament to Enmerkar's vision and piety. However, Enmebaragesi's journey was far from straightforward. His efforts to build the ziggurat were intertwined with a series of prophetic events that added layers of intrigue to his story. Ancient texts describe how Enmebaragesi received messages from the gods, guiding his actions and foretelling the outcomes of his endeavors. These prophecies were not mere predictions but active forces shaping his decisions and the fate of his kingdom. They highlight the Sumerian belief in the interconnectedness of human ambition and divine will, where kings were seen as intermediaries between the mortal world and the gods. Central to Enmebaragesi's legend is his rivalry with the Lord of Aratta, a distant and powerful ruler. This conflict was not just a battle of armies but a contest of wits, resources, and divine favor. The Lord of Aratta, whose name remains shrouded in mystery, posed a significant challenge to Enmebaragesi's authority. The two rulers engaged in a series of exchanges, each attempting to outmaneuver the other through diplomacy, strategy, and even supernatural means. This rivalry is often interpreted as a metaphor for the struggle between order and chaos, a recurring theme in Sumerian mythology. One of the most fascinating aspects of this rivalry is the role of language and communication. Enmebaragesi is said to have invented writing to convey his messages to the Lord of Aratta, a development that underscores the importance of communication in both diplomacy and governance. This innovation not only facilitated his immediate goals but also left a lasting legacy, as writing became a cornerstone of Sumerian culture and administration. The story of Enmebaragesi and the Lord of Aratta thus serves as a reminder of the transformative power of human ingenuity. As we reflect on Enmebaragesi's reign, we see a king whose life was shaped by prophecy, ambition, and the complexities of leadership. His quest to build the ziggurat of Eridu and his rivalry with the Lord of Aratta reveal the intricate interplay between human endeavor and divine influence. These elements make his story a compelling chapter in the tapestry of Sumerian legends, offering insights into the values and beliefs of an ancient civilization. And as we prepare to uncover the next legend, we continue to explore the rich and mysterious world of the Sumerian kings, where every tale is a window into the past. Now, as we step into the shadowed halls of the Akkadian Empire, we encounter a tale of power, ambition, and the whispers of curses that brought even the mightiest kings to their knees. The Akkadian kings, led by the legendary Sargon the Great, ruled over one of the earliest empires in history, yet their reign was marked by both triumph and tragedy. Their story is not just one of conquest and glory, but also of the mysterious forces that seem to conspire against them, blending the myths of Sumer and Akkad into a haunting narrative of divine retribution. Sargon the Great, the founder of the Akkadian Empire, is often celebrated as a visionary leader who united the city-states of Mesopotamia under his rule. His rise from humble beginnings to the pinnacle of power is the stuff of legend, but his legacy is also intertwined with darker tales. According to ancient texts, Sargon's success was not without cost. The gods, it is said, grew wary of his ambition, and whispers of a curse began to circulate. This curse, though never explicitly detailed, was believed to have cast a shadow over his descendants, leading to a series of misfortunes that plagued the Akkadian kings who followed him. The blending of Sumerian and Akkadian myths in these tales is particularly fascinating. The Akkadians, while distinct in their culture and language, inherited much of their religious and mythological framework from the Sumerians. This fusion is evident in the stories of the Akkadian kings, where Sumerian deities and themes are reimagined within an Akkadian context. For instance, the god Enlil, a central figure in Sumerian mythology, is often portrayed as both a protector and a punisher of the Akkadian rulers. His favor was seen as essential for their success, but his wrath could bring about their downfall. One of the most striking examples of this blending is the legend of Naram-Sin, Sargon's grandson, who declared himself a god during his reign. This act of hubris, according to the myths, angered the gods and led to a series of calamities that weakened the empire. The Curse of Akkad, an ancient text, describes how Naram Sin's defiance brought about famine, invasion, and the eventual collapse of his kingdom. The story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of overreaching ambition and the consequences of defying divine will. The curses associated with the Akkadian kings are not just tales of divine punishment, but also reflections of the political and social upheavals of their time. The Akkadian Empire, despite its grandeur, faced constant challenges from within and without. Rebellions, invasions, and internal strife all contributed to its decline, and these real-world struggles were often interpreted through the lens of myth. The curses, in this sense, can be seen as a way for the ancient Mesopotamians to make sense of the unpredictable and often harsh realities of their world. As we explore these legends, we see how the stories of the Akkadian kings are deeply rooted in the cultural and religious traditions of Mesopotamia. The blending of Sumerian and Akkadian myths creates a rich tapestry of narratives that reveal the complexities of power, faith, and human ambition. These tales remind us that even the greatest empires are not immune to the forces of fate and the consequences of their actions. And as we prepare to uncover the next legend, we continue our journey through the enigmatic world of the ancient Sumerian kings, where every story holds a lesson and every curse carries a warning. Now, as we turn our gaze to the third dynasty of we encounter a ruler whose legacy is as enigmatic as it is haunting. Shulgi, the second king of this powerful dynasty, is remembered not only for his remarkable achievements but also for the ghostly legends that surround his reign. His story is one of ambition, divine favor, and the eerie whispers of the supernatural that linger long after his time. Shulgi ascended to the throne after his father, Namu, and quickly established himself as a formidable leader. Under his rule, the empire flourished with advancements in law, literature, and architecture. But what sets Shulgi apart from other kings is his bold decision to declare himself a god during his lifetime. This act of self-deification was unprecedented and marked a significant shift in the way kingship was perceived in ancient Mesopotamia. By claiming divine status, Shulgi sought to solidify his authority and ensure his legacy would endure for generations. Yet, this bold move also opened the door to a world of supernatural intrigue. The legends surrounding Shulgi are filled with ghostly apparitions and otherworldly occurrences. It is said that after his death, his spirit refused to rest, roaming the halls of his palace and the streets of Some accounts describe sightings of his ghostly figure, clad in royal robes, wandering the city at night. Others speak of strange sounds, whispers, footsteps, and the clinking of armor echoing through the corridors of his former residence. These tales have led many to believe that Shulgi's spirit remained tethered to the mortal world, perhaps as a result of his divine aspirations or the unresolved ambitions of his reign. The supernatural elements of Shulgi's legacy are deeply intertwined with his deification. By declaring himself a god, he blurred the line between the mortal and the divine, inviting both reverence and fear. Some scholars suggest that the ghostly legends may have been a way for the people of to process the extraordinary nature of his rule. After all, a king who claimed to be a god would naturally inspire awe and unease even in death. The stories of his restless spirit could also reflect the anxieties of a society grappling with the implications of such a bold assertion of power. Interestingly, Shulgi's deification and the ghostly tales associated with him are not just products of myth but are also supported by historical evidence. Inscriptions and texts from his reign celebrate his divine status, while later records mention rituals performed to honor his spirit. These practices suggest that the people of continued to venerate Shulgi long after his death, further blurring the boundaries between the living and the dead. As we reflect on Shulgi's reign, we see a king who pushed the boundaries of kingship and left an indelible mark on history. His deification and the ghostly legends that followed reveal the complexities of power, faith, and the human desire for immortality. These stories remind us that even the most powerful rulers are not immune to the mysteries of the afterlife. And as we prepare to uncover the next legend, we continue our journey through the shadowed corridors of the ancient Sumerian kings, where every tale holds a lesson and every ghost carries a story. Now, as we step into the realm of divine wisdom, we encounter Enki, the god of knowledge and one of the most revered figures in Sumerian mythology. Known as the keeper of sacred secrets, Enki was believed to hold the keys to understanding the universe, and his teachings were said to be the foundation of royal power. The legend of Enki and his forbidden knowledge offers a fascinating glimpse into how the Sumerians viewed the relationship between gods, kings, and the mysteries of existence. Enki, often depicted as a wise and benevolent deity, was credited with creating humanity and bestowing upon them the gifts of civilization. But beyond his role as a creator, Enki was also the guardian of divine secrets, knowledge so powerful that it was reserved only for the chosen few. According to Sumerian texts, Enki shared this forbidden wisdom with the kings, granting them the ability to rule with divine authority. This knowledge included everything from advanced agricultural techniques to the secrets of the cosmos, enabling the kings to maintain order and prosperity in their realms. The implications of this divine knowledge were profound. By receiving Enki's teachings, the kings were not just rulers but also intermediaries between the gods and humanity. This elevated their status, making them more than mere mortals. They were seen as vessels of divine will, tasked with upholding the balance between the earthly and the celestial. This connection to Enki's wisdom gave the kings unparalleled legitimacy, as their rule was perceived as being sanctioned by the gods themselves. However, the possession of such knowledge was not without its risks. The Sumerians believed that divine secrets were not meant for everyone, and those who accessed them without proper reverence or understanding could face dire consequences. Myths tell of kings who abused Enki's teachings, leading to chaos and destruction. These stories served as cautionary tales, emphasizing the importance of humility and respect when dealing with the divine. The forbidden knowledge was a double-edged sword, capable of elevating a king to greatness or plunging his kingdom into ruin. The legend of Enki also highlights the Sumerians' deep fascination with the pursuit of knowledge. For them, wisdom was not just a tool for survival but a sacred gift that connected humanity to the divine. Enki's teachings were seen as a bridge between the mortal world and the realm of the gods, offering a glimpse into the mysteries of creation. This belief in the transformative power of knowledge shaped Sumerian culture, influencing everything from their religious practices to their political systems. As we reflect on Enki's role in Sumerian mythology, we see a complex interplay between power, wisdom, and the divine. The forbidden knowledge he bestowed upon the kings was both a blessing and a burden, a reminder of the responsibilities that come with great power. These legends invite us to consider the timeless question of how knowledge shapes authority and the delicate balance between ambition and humility. And as we prepare to uncover the next legend, we continue our journey through the enigmatic world of the ancient Sumerian kings, where every story reveals a new layer of mystery and meaning. Now, as we turn the page to a darker chapter in Sumerian history, we encounter the enigmatic Kushan kings, whose reign marked a tumultuous era of chaos and upheaval. These rulers, often depicted as barbaric invaders, left behind a legacy shrouded in mystery and myth. The tales of their rise and fall offer a fascinating glimpse into a time when Sumer faced one of its greatest challenges, and the very fabric of its civilization seemed to hang in the balance. The Kushans, a people from the rugged Zagros Mountains, descended upon Sumer during a period of political instability. According to ancient texts, their arrival was sudden and devastating, plunging the region into a time of disorder. The Sumerians viewed the Kushans as foreign invaders, often describing them as uncivilized and destructive. Their rule, which lasted for roughly a century, is remembered as a dark age in Sumerian history, a time when the once great cities of Mesopotamia fell into decline. But who were the Gushun kings and how did they come to power? The myths surrounding their rise are as cryptic as they are intriguing. Some accounts suggest that the Gushuns were sent by the gods as a form of divine punishment, a consequence of the Sumerian kings' arrogance or neglect of their duties. Others portray them as opportunistic conquerors, taking advantage of a weakened and divided Sumer. Regardless of their origins, the Gushuns quickly established themselves as rulers, though their reign was far from stable. The portrayal of the Gushun kings in Sumerian texts is often harsh and unflattering. They are described as lacking the wisdom and divine favor of their Sumerian predecessors, ruling through brute force rather than divine mandate. This contrast between the Gushuns and the earlier kings highlights the Sumerians' deep belief in the importance of divine legitimacy. For them, a true king was not just a ruler but a chosen representative of the gods, tasked with maintaining order and harmony. The Gushuns, by contrast, were seen as outsiders who disrupted this sacred balance. Despite their negative portrayal, the Gushun kings left an indelible mark on Sumerian history. Their rule forced the Sumerians to confront the fragility of their civilization and the need for unity in the face of external threats. The eventual downfall of the Gushuns came when the Sumerian city-states, led by the legendary King Utu-Hengel, rose up to reclaim their land. This victory marked the end of the Gushun era and the beginning of a new chapter in Sumerian history, one that would see the rise of the third dynasty of Ur. The vanishing of the Gushun kings remains one of the most cryptic legends of ancient Sumer. Their story serves as a reminder of the ever-present tension between order and chaos and the delicate balance that sustains civilization. As we move forward in our exploration of the Sumerian kings, we continue to uncover the layers of myth and history that define this ancient world, where every legend holds a lesson waiting to be discovered. As we step into the realm of divine ambition and sacred ceremonies, we encounter the legendary figure of Naram-Sin, one of the most controversial rulers in ancient Mesopotamian history. Naram-Sin, the Akkadian king who dared to declare himself a god, stands as a symbol of both grandeur and hubris, his reign marked by extraordinary achievements and equally extraordinary controversies. His story is a fascinating blend of myth and history, offering a window into the complex relationship between kingship and divinity in the ancient world. Naram-Sin, the grandson of the famed Sargon the Great, ascended to the throne during a time of immense power and expansion for the Akkadian Empire. Under his rule, the empire reached its zenith, stretching from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean Sea. But it was not just his military conquests that set him apart. Naram-Sin took the unprecedented step of proclaiming himself a living god, a move that shocked and divided his contemporaries. This bold declaration was immortalized in inscriptions and artwork, where he is depicted wearing the horned crown traditionally reserved for deities, a clear symbol of his divine status. The sacred rituals associated with Naram-Sin's reign were as elaborate as they were controversial. These ceremonies, designed to reinforce his divine authority, often involved grand processions, offerings to the gods, and public displays of his godlike power. One of the most famous depictions of Naram-Sin is the victory stele, which shows him towering over his enemies, a clear visual representation of his dominance and divine favor. These rituals were not just acts of piety but also tools of political control, meant to solidify his rule and awe his subjects into submission. However, Naram-Sin's claim to divinity did not go unchallenged. Many viewed his actions as blasphemous, a dangerous overreach that angered the gods. According to some myths, his hubris brought about a series of calamities, including invasions, famine, and the eventual decline of the Akkadian Empire. The Curse of Akkad, a poetic text from the period, describes how the gods turned against Naram-Sin, punishing him for his arrogance. This narrative serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting the delicate balance between human ambition and divine will in Sumerian and Akkadian belief systems. Despite the controversies, Naram Sin's legacy endures as a testament to the complexities of ancient kingship. His reign raises profound questions about the nature of power, the role of religion in governance, and the limits of human ambition. Was he a visionary leader who sought to unite his empire under a divine banner, or was he a reckless ruler whose actions led to his downfall? The myths and historical accounts surrounding Naram Sin offer no easy answers, but they invite us to explore the intricate interplay between myth and reality in the ancient world. As we continue our journey through the cryptic legends of the Sumerian kings, Naram Sin's story reminds us that even the most powerful rulers were not immune to the forces of myth and divine judgment. His sacred rituals and divine aspirations serve as a powerful reminder of the enduring tension between human ambition and the will of the gods, a theme that resonates throughout the annals of ancient history. Now, as we turn our gaze to another enigmatic figure in the tapestry of Sumerian history, we encounter Lugal-Tseidzi, a king whose legacy is as much about his achievements as it is about the mysteries that surround him. Known as the ruler who united Sumer before the rise of Sargon the Great, Lugal-Tseidzi's reign marked a pivotal moment in the region's history. Yet, it is not just his political prowess that captures our imagination, but the legend of a lost treasure that has intrigued historians and treasure hunters alike for centuries. Lugal-Tseidzi's rise to power began in the city-state of Umma, where he established himself as a formidable leader. Through a series of military campaigns, he managed to bring much of Sumer under his control, creating a unified kingdom that stretched across southern Mesopotamia. His reign was characterized by both ambition and innovation, as he sought to consolidate his power through alliances and strategic governance. However, it is the tale of his lost treasure that adds an air of mystery to his story. According to legend, Lugal-Tseidzi amassed a vast hoard of wealth during his reign, including gold, precious stones, and artifacts of immense cultural and religious significance. This treasure was said to have been hidden away in a secret location, known only to a select few. Some believe it was buried beneath the foundations of a temple, while others suggest it was concealed in a remote desert site protected by curses and traps. The exact nature and location of this treasure remain unknown, fueling countless theories and expeditions over the centuries. Historically, Lugal-Tseidzi's rule is often overshadowed by the rise of Sargon of Akkad, who eventually defeated him and absorbed his kingdom into the Akkadian Empire. Yet, the myths surrounding Lugal-Tseidzi's lost treasure suggest that his legacy endured in ways that transcended his political defeat. The treasure is often depicted as a symbol of his wealth and power, a testament to the grandeur of his reign. At the same time, its disappearance serves as a reminder of the fleeting nature of human achievements in the face of time and change. The mythical aspects of Lugal-Tseidzi's treasure also tie into broader themes in Sumerian mythology. Many believe that the treasure was not merely a collection of material wealth, but also included sacred objects imbued with divine power. These objects were said to have been gifts from the gods, meant to ensure the prosperity and protection of the kingdom. The loss of such treasures, therefore, carried a deeper significance, symbolizing the withdrawal of divine favor and the onset of decline. As we reflect on the legend of Lugal-Tseidzi and his lost treasure, we are reminded of the intricate interplay between history and myth. His story invites us to consider the ways in which power, wealth, and divine favor were perceived in the ancient world. Was the treasure a real collection of riches, or was it a metaphor for the spiritual and cultural wealth of Sumer under his rule? The answer may lie somewhere in the shadows of history, waiting to be uncovered. With this mystery still lingering, we now turn our attention to another intriguing figure in the annals of Sumerian kingship, where new legends and enigmas await our exploration. As we step into the next chapter of Sumerian lore, we encounter the tragic tale of Ibbi-Sin, the final ruler of the third dynasty of Ur. His reign, marked by both grandeur and calamity, serves as a cautionary story of hubris and the consequences of defying the will of the gods. Ibbi-Sin's downfall is not just a historical event but a legend steeped in themes of divine retribution, offering a profound glimpse into the beliefs and fears of ancient Sumer. Ibbi-Sin ascended to the throne during a time of relative stability, inheriting a kingdom that had flourished under his predecessors. However, his reign would soon be tested by a series of crises, both natural and political. Famine struck the land, weakening the kingdom's resources and morale. At the same time, external threats from neighboring regions began to encroach on Ur's borders. Despite these challenges, Ibbi-Sin sought to maintain his authority, relying on his divine mandate as a king chosen by the gods. Yet, as the pressures mounted, cracks began to appear in his rule. The Sumerians believed that a king's legitimacy was directly tied to the favor of the gods, and any misfortune was often interpreted as a sign of divine displeasure. In Ibbi-Sin's case, the famine and invasions were seen as punishments from the gods, a response to his perceived arrogance and failure to uphold his sacred duties. This belief is central to the legend of his downfall, painting him as a ruler whose pride led to his undoing. The most striking aspect of Ibbi-Sin's story is the theme of hubris, a recurring motif in ancient myths. According to legend, Ibbi-Sin's refusal to heed the warnings of his advisors and priests angered the gods, who then withdrew their protection from his kingdom. The once mighty city of a symbol of Sumerian power and prosperity, fell into chaos. The invaders, led by the Elamites, sacked the city, and Ibbi-Sin himself was captured, marking the end of the third dynasty of The legend of Ibbi-Sin's divine punishment also reflects the Sumerian worldview, where the gods were deeply involved in human affairs. The idea that a king's actions could provoke divine wrath underscores the importance of humility and piety in Sumerian culture. Ibbi-Sin's story serves as a reminder that even the most powerful rulers were subject to the whims of the gods, and that no amount of earthly authority could shield them from divine judgment. As we reflect on Ibbi-Sin's reign, we are left to ponder the delicate balance between human ambition and divine will. Was his downfall truly a result of divine punishment, or was it the inevitable outcome of a kingdom stretched too thin by external pressures? The legend invites us to consider the ways in which ancient societies interpreted their struggles through the lens of mythology, finding meaning in the interplay between human actions and cosmic forces. With this tale of hubris and retribution still echoing in our minds, we now turn to another enigmatic figure in the annals of Sumerian history, where new mysteries and legends await our exploration. As we venture deeper into the mysteries of ancient Sumer, we now uncover a fascinating aspect of their royal legacy, the secret codes and symbols believed to have been used by the Sumerian kings to communicate with the gods. This enigmatic practice, shrouded in both myth and archaeological intrigue, offers a glimpse into the spiritual and political complexities of their civilization. The Sumerian kings were not just rulers of their people, they were also intermediaries between the mortal world and the divine. To fulfill this sacred role, they relied on a system of cryptic symbols and codes which were thought to convey messages to the gods and interpret their will. These secret languages were more than mere tools of communication. They were a means of maintaining divine favor and ensuring the prosperity of their kingdoms. Archaeological discoveries have revealed inscriptions and artifacts that hint at the existence of these codes. Among the most compelling pieces of evidence are the cuneiform tablets found in royal archives, some of which contain sequences of symbols that defy conventional translation. Scholars have long debated whether these markings represent a form of sacred script, a cipher known only to the kings and their priests, or perhaps even a language reserved for divine communication. Myths surrounding these secret codes add another layer of intrigue. One legend tells of a king who, after receiving a vision from the gods, inscribed a series of symbols on a stone tablet. These symbols were said to hold the key to unlocking divine wisdom, but only those deemed worthy by the gods could decipher their meaning. Another tale speaks of a curse placed upon anyone who attempted to misuse the sacred codes, warning of dire consequences for those who sought to exploit their power for personal gain. The idea of a secret language also reflects the Sumerians' belief in the exclusivity of divine knowledge. The gods were seen as the ultimate source of wisdom, and only the kings, as their chosen representatives, were granted access to this knowledge. This belief reinforced the king's authority, positioning him as a vital link between the human and divine realms. Yet the true nature of these codes remains a mystery. Were they a form of early cryptography designed to protect sacred knowledge from the uninitiated, or were they symbolic representations of divine truths meant to inspire awe and reverence? The answers may lie buried in the sands of time, waiting for future discoveries to shed light on this ancient enigma. As we ponder the secrets of the Sumerian kings, we are reminded of the enduring allure of their civilization. A world where the boundaries between the mortal and the divine were blurred, and where the pursuit of divine wisdom shaped the course of history. With this exploration of their cryptic codes still fresh in our minds, we now turn to another captivating legend where new mysteries await our discovery. Now let us journey to the heart of Nippur, a city revered as one of the most sacred centers of ancient Sumer. Here, amidst the grandeur of its temples and the whispers of its priests, we encounter one of the most enduring symbols of divine power, the eternal flame. This legendary flame, said to have burned without ceasing, was more than just a physical fire. It was a beacon of the god's presence, a testament to the unbreakable bond between the heavens and the earth. The eternal flame of Nippur was believed to have been kindled by the gods themselves, a gift to the Sumerian kings who served as their earthly stewards. Guarded with utmost reverence, this flame symbolized the divine mandate of the kings, their role as protectors of the sacred and mediators between the mortal and the divine. To extinguish the flame would have been unthinkable, for it was said that its light held the very essence of the god's favor, and its perpetual burning ensured the prosperity and stability of the kingdom. In the rituals of Nippur, the eternal flame played a central role. During ceremonies, the kings would approach the flame, offering prayers and sacrifices to honor the gods. The flickering light was thought to carry their petitions to the heavens, a direct line of communication with the divine. The flame also served as a symbol of continuity, a reminder that the kingship was not merely a human institution but a divine legacy passed down through generations. Its unyielding glow mirrored the eternal nature of the god's will, a constant presence in the lives of the Sumerian people. The symbolic significance of the eternal flame extended beyond its role in royal rituals. It was a unifying force, a source of inspiration and hope for the people of Nippur and beyond. The flame's light was believed to ward off chaos and darkness, both literal and metaphorical, ensuring that the city remained a bastion of order and divine favor. In times of crisis, the kings would turn to the flame, seeking guidance and reassurance from the gods. Its enduring presence was a reminder that, no matter the challenges they faced, the gods were always watching over them. Yet the mystery of the eternal flame endures. How was it kept burning for centuries, seemingly without end? Was it maintained through some ancient technology, or was its perpetuity a testament to the gods' intervention? The answers remain elusive, but the legend of the eternal flame continues to captivate, a symbol of the Sumerians' deep connection to the divine and their unwavering faith in the power of the sacred. As we reflect on the eternal flame of Nippur, we are reminded of the profound ways in which the Sumerian kings sought to embody the divine in their rule. Their guardianship of the flame was not just a duty but a sacred trust, a testament to their belief in the enduring power of the gods. And now, as we turn our gaze to the next chapter of this journey, we prepare to uncover yet another layer of the rich tapestry of Sumerian legend. As we leave the sacred glow of Nippur's eternal flame behind, our journey takes us to the ancient city of Uruk, a place steeped in both history and myth. Here, we encounter one of the most intriguing legends of Sumerian lore, the tale of the Phantom Army. This spectral force, said to have guarded Uruk under the rule of its kings, was no ordinary military. It was an army of the unseen, a supernatural defense that blurred the line between the mortal world and the divine. The Phantom Army of Uruk was believed to have been summoned by the gods themselves, a gift to the city's rulers to ensure its protection. Unlike the soldiers of flesh and blood who marched on the battlefield, this army was composed of spirits, their forms shimmering and indistinct, yet their presence undeniable. They were said to appear only in times of dire need, materializing from the shadows to repel invaders or quell unrest. Their very existence was a testament to the divine favor bestowed upon Uruk and its kings. The supernatural elements of this legend are as fascinating as they are mysterious. According to the tales, the Phantom Army was not bound by the limitations of the physical world. They could move unseen, strike without warning, and vanish just as quickly as they appeared. Some accounts describe them as ethereal warriors, their weapons glowing with an otherworldly light, while others speak of them as shadowy figures, their forms shifting and indistinct. What united these descriptions was the belief that they were invincible, their power derived from the gods themselves. The connection between the Phantom Army and Uruk's defense was deeply symbolic. The city, one of the most powerful in ancient Sumer, was not just a center of political and economic might but also a sacred space, home to the great temple of Inanna, the goddess of love and war. The presence of the Phantom Army reinforced the idea that Uruk was under divine protection, its kings chosen by the gods to rule and defend it. The army's supernatural nature served as a reminder that the city's strength was not merely human but also celestial. But how did the Phantom Army come to be? Some legends suggest that it was created through powerful rituals performed by the kings of Uruk, invoking the gods to grant them this spectral defense. Others claim that the army was composed of the spirits of fallen warriors, their loyalty to Uruk so strong that they continued to serve even in death. Whatever the origin, the Phantom Army became a symbol of Uruk's resilience, a force that embodied the city's unyielding spirit and its connection to the divine. The legend of the Phantom Army also raises intriguing questions about the nature of power and protection in ancient Sumer. Was this spectral force a manifestation of the king's divine mandate, or was it a reflection of the people's faith in their rulers and the gods? The tales of the Phantom Army blur the lines between myth and reality, inviting us to consider how the Sumerians understood the interplay between the mortal and the divine. As we reflect on this enigmatic legend, we are reminded of the enduring power of storytelling in shaping our understanding of the past. The Phantom Army of Uruk, whether real or imagined, continues to captivate, a testament to the rich tapestry of Sumerian mythology. And now, as we prepare to delve into the next chapter of our journey, we turn our attention to another cryptic tale, one that takes us deep into the heart of Sumer's royal mysteries. As we step away from the spectral shadows of Uruk's Phantom Army, our journey now leads us to a place shrouded in secrecy and dread, the forbidden tomb of Meskelamdug. This early Sumerian king, whose name echoes through the annals of history, is remembered not just for his reign but for the chilling legends that surround his final resting place. The tomb of Meskelamdug is no ordinary burial site. It is a place steeped in curses, mysteries, and warnings that have endured for millennia. Meskelamdug, one of the earliest rulers of Sumer, was a king whose legacy is as enigmatic as the era he lived in. His tomb, discovered in the ancient city of is a marvel of early Sumerian architecture, but it is also a site of great unease. According to legend, Meskelamdug's burial chamber was designed not just to honor his memory, but to protect it, sealed with powerful curses to deter any who might dare to disturb his eternal rest. These curses, inscribed in cryptic symbols and warnings, were said to invoke the wrath of the gods upon anyone who trespassed. The mysteries surrounding Meskelamdug's tomb are as compelling as they are unsettling. Archaeologists who first uncovered the site reported strange occurrences, tools breaking unexpectedly, sudden shifts in the earth, and an overwhelming sense of foreboding. Some even claimed to hear whispers in the ancient Sumerian tongue, as if the spirits of the past were guarding their king. These accounts, whether rooted in fact or folklore, have only deepened the tomb's aura of mystery. The curses themselves are a fascinating aspect of this legend. Inscribed on the walls of the tomb, they speak of divine retribution, promising misfortune, illness, and even death to those who defile the sacred space. One particularly chilling inscription warns, "He who disturbs the sleep of Mescalamdug shall know no peace, neither in this life nor the next." Such curses were not uncommon in ancient Sumer, where the boundary between the mortal world and the divine was thin, and the gods were believed to take a direct interest in the affairs of kings. But what makes Mescalamdug's tomb stand out is the sheer intensity of the legends surrounding it. Unlike other royal burials, which were often plundered over the centuries, Mescalamdug's tomb remained largely untouched, as if the curses themselves had deterred even the most daring of thieves. This has led some to speculate that the tomb may still hold untold treasures, artifacts of immense historical and cultural value, preserved by the very curses meant to protect them. The story of Mescalamdug's tomb also raises intriguing questions about the role of curses in ancient Sumerian society. Were they merely symbolic, meant to instill fear and respect, or did the Sumerians truly believe in their power? The answer likely lies somewhere in between, reflecting a culture that saw the divine in every aspect of life, from the rise of kings to the rituals of death. As we reflect on the forbidden tomb of Mescalamdug, we are reminded of the enduring power of myth and mystery. This ancient burial site, with its curses and secrets, continues to captivate, offering a glimpse into a world where the line between the mortal and the divine was ever shifting. And now, as we prepare to uncover the next chapter in our exploration of Sumerian legends, we turn our gaze to another enigmatic figure, one whose story is as haunting as it is profound. As we leave behind the chilling whispers of Mescalamdug's tomb, our journey now takes us to a figure of profound influence and mystery, the Oracle of Ur. In the heart of ancient Sumer, oracles were more than mere seers. They were conduits of divine wisdom, revered for their ability to bridge the gap between the mortal world and the realm of the gods. The Oracle of Ur, in particular, stands out as a legendary figure whose prophecies shaped the destinies of kings and kingdoms. The Oracle of Ur was believed to possess a direct connection to the gods, particularly to Nana, the moon god who was the patron deity of Ur. This sacred link granted the oracle the ability to interpret divine will, offering guidance to the Sumerian kings during times of war, famine, and political upheaval. The kings, in turn, relied heavily on these prophecies, viewing them as essential to maintaining their divine mandate to rule. It was said that no major decision was made without consulting the oracle, whose words carried the weight of the heavens. The rituals surrounding the oracle were as elaborate as they were mysterious. Before delivering a prophecy, the oracle would undergo a series of purification rites, including fasting, prayer, and offerings to the gods. These rituals were designed to cleanse the oracle's spirit and prepare them to receive divine messages. The prophecies themselves were often delivered in a trance-like state, with the oracle speaking in cryptic verses that required interpretation by the king's priests. This process added an air of reverence and awe to the oracle's pronouncements, reinforcing their perceived connection to the divine. One of the most famous legends surrounding the Oracle of Ur involves a prophecy that saved the city from destruction. According to the tale, a rival kingdom had amassed a vast army and was preparing to lay siege to Ur. The oracle, in a vision, foresaw the impending attack and warned the king. Acting on the prophecy, the king fortified the city's defenses and called upon the gods for protection. When the enemy arrived, they were met with such fierce resistance that they were forced to retreat, leaving Ur unscathed. This event cemented the oracle's reputation as a vital protector of the kingdom. The myths surrounding the oracle also speak of their supernatural abilities. Some legends claim that the oracle could heal the sick, control the weather, and even communicate with the spirits of the dead. These powers were seen as further evidence of their divine favor, elevating the oracle to a status almost equal to that of the gods themselves. Yet with such power came great responsibility, and the oracle was expected to remain impartial, serving the will of the gods above all else. The role of oracles in Sumerian society extended beyond the political sphere. They were also seen as spiritual guides, offering counsel to ordinary citizens seeking answers to personal dilemmas. Whether it was a farmer praying for a bountiful harvest or a merchant hoping for success in trade, the oracle's wisdom was sought after by all. This widespread reverence highlights the central role that divination played in Sumerian culture, where the divine was believed to influence every aspect of life. As we reflect on the legend of the Oracle of Ur, we are reminded of the profound impact that these prophetic figures had on the ancient world. Their ability to interpret the will of the gods shaped the course of history, guiding kings and commoners alike through the uncertainties of life. And now, as we prepare to uncover the next chapter in our exploration of Sumerian legends, we turn our attention to another enigmatic figure, one whose story is as haunting as it is profound. Now, as we step into the realm of divine origins, we encounter one of the most fascinating and enduring legends of ancient Sumer, the bloodline of the Anunnaki. These celestial beings, often described as gods or deities, were believed to have descended from the heavens to shape the destiny of humanity. Among their most profound legacies was the creation of the Sumerian kings, who were said to be their direct descendants, imbued with divine authority and power. The Anunnaki, whose name translates to "those who from heaven to earth came," were central figures in Sumerian mythology. They were considered the architects of civilization, credited with teaching humanity the arts of agriculture, writing, and governance. But their most significant contribution, according to legend, was the establishment of the royal bloodline. The Sumerian kings were believed to be the offspring of the Anunnaki, a lineage that granted them not only the right to rule but also a sacred connection to the gods themselves. This divine bloodline was more than just a claim to power. It was a cornerstone of Sumerian kingship. The kings were seen as intermediaries between the gods and the people, tasked with maintaining cosmic order and ensuring the favor of the heavens. Their divine ancestry was often invoked in royal inscriptions and ceremonies, reinforcing their legitimacy and authority. To challenge a king was to challenge the will of the gods, a notion that solidified the ruler's positions and deterred rebellion. The implications of this divine lineage extended far beyond politics. It shaped the very fabric of Sumerian society, influencing everything from religious practices to cultural identity. The kings were not merely rulers, they were living symbols of the gods' presence on earth. Temples and ziggurats were built in their honor, and rituals were performed to honor their divine heritage. The people of Sumer saw their kings as protectors and benefactors, chosen by the gods to lead and guide them. One of the most intriguing aspects of this legend is the idea that the Anunnaki themselves played an active role in the lives of the kings. Myths tell of the gods intervening in times of crisis, offering guidance and support to their mortal descendants. For instance, it was believed that the god Enki, the god of wisdom, would often counsel the kings, helping them navigate the complexities of rule. This divine assistance further elevated the king's status, blurring the line between the mortal and the divine. Yet the divine bloodline was not without its challenges. The kings were expected to uphold the highest standards of conduct, as any failure or misstep could be seen as a betrayal of their celestial heritage. Stories of kings who fell out of favor with the gods serve as cautionary tales, reminding us that divine favor was both a blessing and a burden. The weight of their ancestry demanded unwavering dedication and piety, lest they incur the wrath of the gods. As we reflect on the legend of the Anunnaki and their divine bloodline, we are reminded of the profound ways in which mythology shaped the ancient world. The belief in a celestial lineage not only legitimized the rule of the Sumerian kings, but also provided a sense of purpose and order to their society. It was a narrative that connected the heavens and the earth, the divine and the mortal, in a way that continues to captivate our imagination. And now, as we prepare to delve deeper into the mysteries of Sumerian mythology, we turn our attention to another enigmatic tale, one that speaks of lost knowledge and the secrets of the gods. The next chapter in our journey awaits, promising even more revelations from the shadows of history. As we journey further into the heart of Sumerian mysteries, we now turn our attention to a legend shrouded in intrigue and whispers of forbidden knowledge, the lost scrolls of Kish. These ancient texts, said to hold the secrets of the Sumerian kings, have captivated historians and mythologists alike, offering a tantalizing glimpse into the wisdom and power of one of the world's earliest civilizations. The city of Kish, one of the oldest and most influential cities in ancient Sumer, was a hub of political and cultural activity. It was here, according to legend, that a collection of sacred scrolls was meticulously crafted, containing the accumulated knowledge of the Sumerian kings. These scrolls were not mere records of history. They were believed to hold the keys to understanding the divine will, the origins of kingship, and the very fabric of cosmic order. The scrolls were said to be inscribed with instructions from the gods themselves, offering guidance on governance, rituals, and the maintenance of harmony between the heavens and the earth. The historical significance of these scrolls cannot be overstated. Kish was a city of immense importance, often regarded as the first city to have kingship after the Great Flood, a pivotal event in Sumerian mythology. The scrolls, if they existed, would have served as a bridge between the mythical past and the historical present, providing legitimacy to the rulers of Kish and their successors. They were likely seen as a source of divine authority, reinforcing the idea that the kings of Sumer were chosen and guided by the gods. Mythologically, the lost scrolls of Kish take on an even more profound meaning. They are often described as a repository of esoteric knowledge, containing secrets that could unlock the mysteries of the universe. Some legends suggest that the scrolls held instructions for communicating with the gods, performing sacred rituals, and even achieving immortality. This idea of hidden wisdom resonates deeply with the Sumerian belief in the power of divine knowledge, a theme that recurs throughout their myths and legends. The disappearance of the scrolls adds another layer of mystery to their story. No archaeological evidence of these texts has ever been found, leading some to question whether they existed at all. Yet, the persistence of the legend suggests that they held a significant place in the collective imagination of the Sumerians. Some theories propose that the scrolls were deliberately hidden or destroyed to protect their secrets, while others speculate that they were lost during one of the many upheavals that marked the history of Kish. The allure of the lost scrolls lies not only in their potential contents, but also in what they represent: the enduring human desire to uncover hidden truths and connect with the divine. They remind us of the power of knowledge and the lengths to which people will go to preserve it. Whether real or mythical, the scrolls of Kish continue to inspire curiosity and wonder, inviting us to explore the boundaries between history and legend. As we prepare to move forward in our exploration of Sumerian mysteries, we find ourselves drawn to another enigmatic tale, one that speaks of curses and the consequences of defying the gods. The next chapter in our journey promises to unravel yet another layer of the ancient world's enduring secrets. Now, as we step into the shadows of ancient Sumer, we encounter a tale that intertwines divine wrath with the towering monuments of human ambition: the Curse of the Ziggurat. These massive step temples built by the Sumerian kings were not just architectural marvels, but also sacred spaces meant to bridge the gap between the earthly realm and the heavens. Yet, according to legend, these structures were often accompanied by curses, warnings from the gods to those who dared to misuse or defile them. The ziggurats were more than just places of worship. They were symbols of the king's divine mandate and their connection to the gods. Each ziggurat was dedicated to a specific deity, and its construction was seen as an act of devotion and obedience. However, the legends suggest that the gods were not always pleased with how these structures were used. Stories abound of curses placed upon those who failed to honor the sacred nature of the ziggurats, whether through neglect, sacrilege, or hubris. One of the most famous tales involves the ziggurat of dedicated to the moon god Nana. It is said that a king, in his arrogance, attempted to alter the sacred rituals performed at the ziggurat, believing he could improve upon the divine instructions. This act of defiance angered Nana, who responded by placing a curse on the king and his lineage. The curse brought famine, disease, and political turmoil, ultimately leading to the downfall of his dynasty. This story serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of defying the gods and the delicate balance between human ambition and divine will. The supernatural elements of these curses are deeply rooted in Sumerian mythology. The gods were believed to be both benevolent and wrathful, capable of bestowing blessings or unleashing destruction depending on human actions. The curses were not merely symbolic, they were seen as real and immediate threats, capable of affecting entire cities and generations. The ziggurats, as the physical manifestations of the gods' presence on earth, were particularly potent sites for such divine retribution. Archaeological evidence, while scarce, offers some intriguing hints about these legends. Inscriptions found near the ruins of ziggurats often contain warnings and invocations, urging future generations to respect the sacred nature of these structures. Some even describe rituals meant to appease the gods and avert their wrath. These findings suggest that the fear of curses was not just a myth but a deeply ingrained aspect of Sumerian religious practice. The enduring fascination with the curse of the ziggurat lies in its exploration of power, both human and divine. It raises questions about the limits of human authority and the consequences of overreaching ambition. The ziggurats, as both monuments to human achievement and reminders of divine supremacy, embody this tension. They stand as testaments to the Sumerians' reverence for the gods and their understanding of the fragile relationship between mortals and the divine. As we leave the towering ziggurats behind, our journey takes us to another enigmatic figure in Sumerian history, a ruler whose identity remains shrouded in mystery. The Shadow King of Lagash awaits, and with him, a new chapter in our exploration of the ancient world's enduring secrets. Now, as we turn our gaze toward the ancient city of Lagash, we encounter one of the most perplexing figures in Sumerian history, the Shadow King. Unlike the well-documented rulers of Uruk or this enigmatic monarch remains a mystery, his name lost to time and his deeds shrouded in legend. Who was this Shadow King, and why does his story continue to captivate historians and mythologists alike? Let's unravel the threads of this ancient puzzle. The Shadow King of Lagash is a figure who defies easy categorization. Unlike other Sumerian rulers whose names and achievements are recorded in inscriptions and royal annals, this king's identity is conspicuously absent from the historical record. Some scholars suggest that his anonymity was deliberate, a way to protect his legacy from the whims of fate or the wrath of the gods. Others propose that he may have been a usurper, a ruler whose rise to power was so controversial that his name was erased from history by those who came after him. Whatever the truth, his absence from the records has only fueled speculation and intrigue. Myths surrounding the Shadow King paint him as a figure of both power and secrecy. One legend claims that he ruled during a time of great turmoil, when Lagash was threatened by rival city-states and internal strife. According to this tale, the Shadow King emerged as a unifying force, using cunning and diplomacy to restore order. Yet, despite his success, he chose to remain in the background, allowing others to take credit for his achievements. This self-imposed obscurity earned him the title of the Shadow King, a ruler who wielded influence without seeking recognition. Another theory posits that the Shadow King was not a single individual but a symbolic figure representing a collective leadership. In this interpretation, the Shadow King embodies the idea of shared power, a council of elders or advisors who governed Lagash during a period of transition. This theory aligns with the Sumerian tradition of collective decision-making, where rulers often relied on the wisdom of their councils to guide their actions. If true, the Shadow King becomes a metaphor for the collaborative spirit that sustained Lagash during uncertain times. Archaeological evidence from Lagash offers tantalizing clues but no definitive answers. Excavations have uncovered artifacts and inscriptions that hint at a ruler who preferred anonymity, but these findings are fragmentary and open to interpretation. Some inscriptions refer to a hidden hand that guided the city's fortunes, while others mention a veiled one who protected Lagash from its enemies. These cryptic references have led some to speculate that the Shadow King was not just a political figure but also a spiritual leader, someone who mediated between the human and divine realms. The enduring mystery of the Shadow King lies in what he represents: the unknown, the unseen, and the unspoken. His story reminds us that history is not always written by the victors but sometimes by the shadows they cast. It challenges us to look beyond the surface, to question the narratives we take for granted, and to consider the possibility that some truths may never be fully uncovered. As we leave the Shadow King behind, our journey takes us to another fascinating figure in Sumerian mythology, a queen whose presence was as mysterious as it was powerful. The Phantom Queen of Sumer awaits, and with her, a new chapter in our exploration of the ancient world's enduring enigmas. Now, as we step into the realm of royal women in Sumerian mythology, we encounter the fascinating figure of Ninsun, a queen whose legacy is deeply intertwined with the divine. Known primarily as the mother of Gilgamesh, Ninsun's story goes far beyond her role as a parent. She is celebrated for her sacred marriage to a divine being, a union that not only elevated her status but also symbolized the profound connection between the earthly and the divine in Sumerian culture. Ninsun's sacred marriage is one of the most intriguing aspects of her legend. In Sumerian mythology, sacred marriages were not just symbolic rituals. They were believed to have real, tangible effects on the world. These unions between mortal rulers and divine beings were thought to ensure fertility, prosperity, and stability for the kingdom. Ninsun's marriage to a god, often identified as Lugalbanda, was no exception. It was seen as a divine endorsement of her son Gilgamesh's rule, reinforcing his legitimacy as a king and his connection to the gods. But Ninsun was more than just a figurehead in this sacred union. She was revered as a wise and powerful queen in her own right, known for her deep understanding of the divine and her ability to interpret dreams and omens. Her wisdom and insight made her a trusted advisor, not only to her son but also to the people of Uruk. In many ways, Ninsun embodied the ideal of the royal woman in Sumerian society, a figure who balanced earthly authority with spiritual insight. The role of royal women like Ninsun in Sumerian mythology cannot be overstated. They were often seen as intermediaries between the human and divine realms, using their unique position to influence both. Through sacred marriages, they forged alliances that strengthened their kingdoms and ensured the favor of the gods. They also played key roles in religious rituals, acting as priestesses and custodians of sacred knowledge. In a society where the divine and the mortal were deeply intertwined, royal women like Ninsun were essential to maintaining the balance. Ninsun's legacy extends beyond her own lifetime. Her influence is evident in the epic tales of her son Gilgamesh, where she is portrayed as a guiding force, offering wisdom and support in his quest for immortality. Her story reminds us that the power of royal women in Sumerian mythology was not just ceremonial, it was deeply rooted in their ability to navigate both the human and divine worlds with grace and authority. As we reflect on Ninsun's sacred marriage and her role in Sumerian mythology, we are reminded of the enduring power of these ancient stories. They offer us a glimpse into a world where the boundaries between the mortal and the divine were fluid, and where women like Ninsun played a pivotal role in shaping the destiny of their people. With this in mind, we now turn our attention to another enigmatic figure in Sumerian lore, the vanishing city of CURYPTIC, a place steeped in mystery and myth. Now, as we shift our focus from the sacred marriage of Ninsun, we find ourselves drawn to the enigmatic tale of CURYPTIC, a city that vanished under circumstances so mysterious it has captivated historians and mythologists for centuries. CURYPTIC, often referred to as one of the oldest cities in Sumer, holds a unique place in the annals of ancient history, not just for its sudden disappearance, but for its deep ties to the Sumerian kings and the legendary flood myths that echo across cultures. CURYPTIC was no ordinary city. It was a thriving center of culture, governance, and religion, believed to have been ruled by a line of kings who were both revered and feared. Among its most famous rulers was Ziusudra, a figure whose story is intricately linked to the Great Flood. According to Sumerian texts, Ziusudra was warned by the gods of an impending deluge that would wipe out humanity. Instructed to build a massive boat, he gathered his family, animals, and seeds, ensuring the survival of life itself. This tale, strikingly similar to the biblical story of Noah, underscores the city's significance in Sumerian mythology as a place of divine intervention and human resilience. But what makes CURYPTIC truly fascinating is not just its connection to the flood myths, but the mystery surrounding its disappearance. Unlike other ancient cities that fell to conquest or natural decay, CURYPTIC seems to have vanished almost overnight. Archaeological evidence suggests that the city was abandoned abruptly with no clear explanation. Some theories point to a catastrophic flood, while others speculate about divine retribution or even a sudden shift in the Euphrates River that left the city uninhabitable. Whatever the cause, the vanishing of CURYPTIC remains one of the most enduring puzzles of ancient Sumer. The city's connection to the Sumerian kings adds another layer of intrigue. CURYPTIC was not just a political center, it was a spiritual hub believed to be favored by the gods. Its rulers were seen as intermediaries between the divine and the mortal, much like Ninsun in Uruk. The sudden disappearance of such a city would have been seen as a profound omen, a sign that the gods had withdrawn their favor. This idea is echoed in the flood myths, where the destruction of humanity is followed by a promise of renewal, a theme that resonates deeply in Sumerian culture. As we explore the legend of CURYPTIC, we are reminded of the fragility of human civilization and the enduring power of myth. The city's story is not just about its disappearance, it is about the resilience of those who survived, the wisdom of those who preserved its memory, and the lessons it offers to future generations. CURYPTIC may have vanished, but its legacy lives on in the flood myths that continue to inspire and intrigue us. With this in mind, we now turn to another chapter in the cryptic legends of the Sumerian kings, a tale of divine weapons and the power they wielded, a story that further illuminates the intricate relationship between the gods and their chosen rulers. Now, as we step into the realm of divine power and royal authority, we encounter the legend of the divine weapons wielded by the Sumerian kings. These weapons, believed to be gifts from the gods themselves, were more than just tools of war. They were symbols of divine favor and instruments of destiny. The Sumerian kings, seen as intermediaries between the heavens and the earth, were entrusted with these sacred artifacts which carried both immense power and profound responsibility. The divine weapons were said to be crafted by the gods, imbued with supernatural abilities that set them apart from ordinary arms. For instance, the spear of a king might be described as unbreakable, capable of piercing any shield, while a sword could be said to shine with the light of the sun, striking fear into the hearts of enemies. These weapons were not merely physical objects, they were extensions of the god's will, designed to ensure the king's victory in battle and his ability to maintain order in the land. But the significance of these weapons went beyond their practical use in warfare. They were also powerful symbols of the king's legitimacy and his connection to the divine. To wield a weapon gifted by the gods was to be recognized as a chosen ruler, one who had the favor and protection of the deities. This idea is echoed in many Sumerian texts, where kings are depicted as receiving their weapons directly from the hands of gods like Enlil or Inanna, further cementing their status as divinely appointed leaders. The practical implications of these weapons were equally profound. In a time when warfare was a constant reality, the possession of such powerful tools could mean the difference between victory and defeat. A king armed with a divine weapon was not only a formidable opponent on the battlefield, but also a unifying figure for his people, inspiring confidence and loyalty. The legends often describe how these weapons turn the tide of battles, allowing kings to overcome seemingly insurmountable odds and secure their rule. Yet the divine weapons were not without their challenges. To wield them was to carry the weight of divine expectation. The gods did not bestow these gifts lightly, and the kings who bore them were held to a higher standard. Any misuse or failure to uphold the gods' will could result in the loss of divine favor, a fate worse than defeat in battle. This duality, of immense power and immense responsibility, adds a layer of complexity to the legend of the divine weapons, making them not just tools of conquest but also tests of character. As we reflect on the legend of the divine weapons, we are reminded of the intricate relationship between the Sumerian kings and the gods. These weapons were more than just symbols of power. They were reminders of the sacred bond between the mortal and the divine, a bond that shaped the destiny of kings and kingdoms alike. With this in mind, we now turn to another chapter in the cryptic legends of the Sumerian kings, a tale of forbidden temples and the curses that guarded them, a story that further explores the delicate balance between human ambition and divine will. Shifting our focus from the divine weapons to the sacred spaces of the Sumerian world, we now delve into the legend of the forbidden temple of Enlil. Enlil, the chief god of the Sumerian pantheon, was revered as the ruler of the heavens and the earth, a deity whose power and authority were unmatched. His temple, a place of immense spiritual significance, was said to be a site where the divine and mortal realms intersected. Yet, this temple was not just a place of worship, it was also shrouded in mystery and danger, protected by curses that deterred the unworthy and the unprepared. The construction of Enlil's temple was no ordinary feat. According to legend, it was built with the guidance of the gods themselves, its foundations laid with stones imbued with divine energy. The temple's architecture was said to reflect the cosmic order, with its towering ziggurat symbolizing the connection between earth and sky. Every detail, from the carvings on its walls to the placement of its altars, was designed to honor Enlil and maintain the balance of the universe. But this sacred space was not meant for all to enter. It was a forbidden temple, accessible only to those who had earned the favor of the gods. The myths surrounding the temple speak of powerful curses placed upon it, designed to protect its sanctity. Those who dared to enter without permission or with impure intentions were said to face dire consequences. Some legends describe how trespassers were struck down by divine wrath, their lives claimed by unseen forces. Others tell of individuals who were driven mad, their minds shattered by the overwhelming presence of the divine. These curses served as a stark reminder of the temple's sacred nature and the consequences of defying the will of the gods. But why was the temple forbidden? The answer lies in the Sumerian belief in the separation of the divine and the mortal. Enlil's temple was not just a place of worship, it was a threshold between worlds, a space where the gods could interact with humanity. To enter without proper reverence or purpose was to disrupt this delicate balance, risking the wrath of the gods and the stability of the cosmos. The temple's forbidden status was a way to preserve its sanctity and ensure that only those who were truly worthy could approach the divine. The legends of Enlil's temple also highlight the role of the Sumerian kings as mediators between the gods and their people. It was said that only the kings, as divinely appointed rulers, could enter the temple and perform the sacred rituals required to maintain the favor of Enlil. These rituals were not just acts of devotion, they were essential to the well-being of the kingdom, ensuring prosperity, protection, and order. The kings who succeeded in these duties were seen as blessed by the gods, their reigns marked by peace and abundance. As we explore the legend of the Forbidden Temple of Enlil, we are reminded of the profound respect the Sumerians had for the divine. This temple was more than just a physical structure. It was a symbol of the sacred bond between the gods and humanity, a bond that required careful stewardship and unwavering reverence. With this in mind, we now turn to another enigmatic tale from the annals of Sumerian history, one that introduces us to a phantom queen whose mysterious presence adds yet another layer of intrigue to the cryptic legends of the ancient kings. Moving from the sacred and forbidden spaces of Enlil's temple, we now step into the shadowy realm of Sumerian royalty, where the enigmatic figure of the phantom queen emerges. Unlike the well-documented kings of Sumer, this queen remains a figure of mystery, her identity obscured by the passage of time and the whispers of legend. Who was she? Was she a mortal ruler, a divine being, or something in between? The tales surrounding her are as elusive as her presence, blending history with the supernatural in a way that continues to captivate historians and mythologists alike. The Phantom Queen is said to have ruled alongside the Sumerian kings, not as a mere consort but as a powerful figure in her own right. Her role was unique, for she was neither fully human nor entirely divine. Some legends suggest she was a priestess queen, chosen by the gods to mediate between the earthly and the celestial realms. Others claim she was a spirit or a ghostly apparition, appearing only during times of great need to guide the kings and their people. Her supernatural nature is a recurring theme in the stories, with accounts describing her as appearing and vanishing without warning, her presence marked by an otherworldly aura. One of the most intriguing aspects of her legend is the ambiguity surrounding her identity. Unlike other figures in Sumerian mythology, her name is rarely mentioned, if at all. This has led to speculation that she may have been a composite figure, representing the collective power and wisdom of Sumerian queenship rather than a single individual. Alternatively, her anonymity could have been intentional, a way to protect her from the curses and dangers that often befell those who wielded great power. Whatever the case, her lack of a clear identity only adds to her mystique, making her one of the most enigmatic figures in Sumerian lore. The supernatural elements of her story are equally fascinating. Tales describe her as having the ability to communicate with the gods directly, receiving divine guidance that she would then impart to the kings. Some accounts even suggest she could manipulate the forces of nature, summoning storms or calming floods to protect her people. Her powers were not just limited to the physical world. She was also said to have the ability to see into the future, offering prophecies that shaped the course of Sumerian history. These abilities, combined with her ghostly presence, made her a figure of both reverence and fear. But why would a phantom queen be necessary in the first place? The answer lies in the Sumerian belief in the balance between the mortal and divine realms. The kings, while powerful, were still human, and their connection to the gods required intermediaries. The Phantom Queen served as a bridge, ensuring that the divine will was carried out on earth. Her supernatural nature allowed her to operate in both realms, making her an indispensable figure in the governance and spiritual life of Sumer. As we unravel the legend of the Phantom Queen, we are reminded of the complex interplay between history and myth in Sumerian culture. Her story is not just a tale of a mysterious ruler, it is a reflection of the Sumerian worldview, where the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural were fluid and intertwined. With this in mind, we now turn to another cryptic legend, one that takes us to the heart of Sumerian power and its most enduring symbols, the lost crown of Uruk. Now, as we shift our focus from the ethereal presence of the Phantom Queen, we find ourselves drawn to a tangible yet equally mysterious artifact, the lost crown of Uruk. This legendary symbol of royal authority was more than just a piece of regalia. It was a divine emblem, believed to have been bestowed upon the kings of Uruk by the gods themselves. Its disappearance has puzzled historians and mythologists for centuries, leaving behind a trail of questions and speculation. The crown of Uruk was not merely a marker of earthly power, it was a sacred object imbued with the favor of the gods. According to Sumerian belief, the crown served as a physical connection between the king and the divine, ensuring that his rule was both legitimate and blessed. It was said to be crafted from precious metals and adorned with jewels, but its true value lay in its spiritual significance. The crown was a symbol of the king's role as a mediator between the mortal world and the heavens, a responsibility that carried immense weight in Sumerian society. But how did such a revered object come to be lost? The legends offer several explanations, each more intriguing than the last. One tale suggests that the crown was hidden by the gods themselves, taken away as a form of divine punishment when a king failed to uphold his sacred duties. Another story claims that it was stolen by a rival kingdom, only to vanish during its journey, never to be seen again. Yet another version proposes that the crown was not lost at all but deliberately concealed, awaiting the arrival of a worthy ruler who could reclaim it and restore its glory. The mystery of the lost crown extends beyond its physical disappearance. Its absence left a void in the spiritual and political life of Uruk, symbolizing a break in the divine connection that had once ensured the city's prosperity. Without the crown, the kings of Uruk were forced to rule without the tangible assurance of the gods' favor, a situation that may have contributed to the city's eventual decline. The crown's loss became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the fragile balance between human ambition and divine will. The significance of the lost crown in Sumerian mythology cannot be overstated. It represents not only the power and authority of the kings, but also the precarious nature of their relationship with the gods. The crown's disappearance serves as a metaphor for the challenges of leadership and the consequences of failing to honor one's divine obligations. It is a story that resonates even today, reminding us of the enduring connection between power, faith, and responsibility. As we reflect on the legend of the lost crown of Uruk, we are reminded of the profound ways in which symbols shape our understanding of history and culture. The crown's story is not just about a missing artifact, it is about the ideals and values that defined an entire civilization. With this in mind, we now turn to another cryptic legend, one that delves into the darker side of Sumerian royalty, the curse of the royal bloodline. Now, as we step into the shadowy realm of Sumerian royalty, we encounter a tale steeped in intrigue and misfortune, the curse of the royal bloodline. This legend speaks of a divine punishment that haunted the kings of Sumer, casting a long and ominous shadow over their reigns. Unlike the tangible mysteries of lost artifacts, this curse was an invisible force, one that shaped the fate of entire dynasties and left an indelible mark on Sumerian history. The origins of the curse are shrouded in myth, with some accounts tracing it back to a moment of hubris. It is said that a king, drunk on his own power, dared to defy the gods, claiming equality with the divine. This act of arrogance, according to the legends, provoked the wrath of the heavens, leading to a curse that would afflict his descendants for generations. The curse was not merely a punishment for one man's pride. It was a warning to all who would follow, a reminder of the consequences of overstepping the boundaries set by the gods. The effects of the curse were said to be both subtle and devastating. Kings who inherited the tainted bloodline faced a series of misfortunes, from failed harvests and crumbling alliances to untimely deaths and mysterious illnesses. Some rulers attempted to break the curse through elaborate rituals and offerings, seeking to appease the gods and restore their favor. Others turned to seers and oracles, hoping for guidance on how to escape the curse's grip. Yet, despite their efforts, the curse persisted, a relentless force that seemed to mock their attempts at redemption. One of the most chilling aspects of the curse was its unpredictability. It did not strike every generation, nor did it follow a clear pattern. Instead, it seemed to lie dormant, only to resurface at the most inopportune moments, plunging the kingdom into chaos. This unpredictability added to the curse's mystique, making it a source of both fear and fascination for the people of Sumer. It became a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the mightiest rulers were not immune to the whims of the divine. The curse of the royal bloodline also had profound implications for the political and spiritual life of Sumer. It undermined the legitimacy of the kings, casting doubt on their ability to rule with the gods' blessing. In a society where the king's role as a mediator between the mortal and divine worlds was paramount, the curse was a direct challenge to the very foundation of royal authority. It forced the kings to grapple with questions of fate, free will, and the nature of divine justice, themes that resonate deeply in Sumerian mythology. As we reflect on this legend, we are reminded of the delicate balance between power and humility, ambition and restraint. The curse of the royal bloodline serves as a powerful metaphor for the challenges of leadership and the consequences of overreaching. It is a story that transcends time, offering timeless lessons about the dangers of pride and the importance of respecting the boundaries set by higher powers. With this in mind, we now turn our attention to another enigmatic chapter in the annals of Sumerian history, the secret chamber of Nana, the moon god, and its connection to the kings of Sumer. Shifting our focus to the celestial realm, we now uncover the legend of the secret chamber of Nana, the moon god, a place shrouded in mystery and steeped in divine significance. This hidden sanctuary, said to be located within the heart of the great ziggurat of Ur, was believed to be a sacred space where the Sumerian kings communed with the divine, seeking guidance and blessings for their rule. The chamber was not merely a physical structure, it was a bridge between the earthly and the celestial, a testament to the profound connection between the kings and the gods. According to ancient texts, the secret chamber was accessible only to the king and a select few high priests, who performed intricate rituals to honor Nana. These rituals were designed to maintain the harmony between the mortal world and the divine, ensuring the prosperity and stability of the kingdom. The chamber itself was said to be adorned with symbols of the moon, reflecting Nana's role as a bringer of light and wisdom. It was here that the king would offer sacrifices, recite prayers, and seek visions that would guide his decisions and actions. One of the most intriguing aspects of the chamber was its association with the lunar cycle. The rituals performed within its walls were timed to coincide with the phases of the moon, emphasizing the belief that Nana's influence waxed and waned with the celestial body he governed. During the new moon, the chamber was said to be at its most potent, a time when the veil between worlds was thinnest and the king could receive direct messages from the god. These messages, often cryptic and symbolic, were interpreted by the priests and used to shape the policies and strategies of the kingdom. The mysteries surrounding the chamber extended beyond its rituals. Legends speak of hidden passages and concealed artifacts within its walls, objects imbued with divine power that could grant the king unparalleled insight and authority. Some accounts even suggest that the chamber contained a sacred tablet, inscribed with the wisdom of Nana himself, which only the most worthy rulers could decipher. This tablet was said to hold the secrets of the universe, a source of knowledge that could elevate the king to near divine status. Yet the chamber was not without its dangers. It was believed that those who entered with impure intentions or without the proper reverence would incur the wrath of Nana, facing dire consequences. The chamber was a place of both immense power and profound risk, a reminder that the gods demanded respect and humility from those who sought their favor. This duality added to the chamber's mystique, making it a symbol of both aspiration and caution for the kings of Sumer. the secret chamber of Nana also played a crucial role in the legitimization of royal authority. By performing the rituals and receiving divine guidance within its walls, the king demonstrated his unique connection to the gods, reinforcing his right to rule. This connection was vital in a society where the king's role as a mediator between the mortal and divine worlds was central to the social and political order. The chamber, therefore, was not just a place of worship, it was a cornerstone of royal legitimacy and a source of the king's power. As we delve into this legend, we are reminded of the intricate relationship between the Sumerian kings and their gods, a bond that shaped the course of their civilization. The secret chamber of Nana stands as a testament to the enduring allure of the divine, a place where the boundaries between the earthly and the celestial were blurred, and where the fate of a kingdom could be decided by the whispers of a god. With this in mind, we now turn to another enigmatic tale from the annals of Sumerian history, the vanishing army of Sargon, a legend that speaks of divine intervention and the fragility of human ambition. Now, let us journey into one of the most baffling legends of ancient Sumer, the vanishing army of Sargon. This tale, steeped in both mystery and divine intrigue, tells of a formidable military force that disappeared without a trace during one of Sargon's campaigns. Sargon of Akkad, the legendary king who forged one of the world's first empires, was known for his unmatched military prowess. Yet, even his reign was not without its inexplicable events, and the vanishing of his army remains one of the most perplexing chapters in his storied legacy. According to ancient accounts, Sargon's army was marching through a remote region, possibly near the Zagros Mountains, when they encountered an otherworldly phenomenon. The soldiers, numbering in the thousands, were said to have vanished overnight, leaving behind no signs of battle, no traces of retreat, and no explanation for their disappearance. The event was so shocking that it was attributed to the intervention of the gods, with some texts suggesting that the army had been swallowed by the earth or spirited away by divine forces. This supernatural explanation reflects the Sumerian belief that the gods could directly influence the fate of mortals, even those as powerful as Sargon. Historical theories, however, offer a different perspective. Some scholars propose that the army may have fallen victim to natural disasters, such as a sudden landslide or a catastrophic flood, which were not uncommon in the region. Others speculate that the soldiers could have been ambushed by hostile tribes or succumbed to disease, though these theories fail to account for the complete absence of physical evidence. The lack of archaeological findings related to this event has only deepened the mystery, leaving historians and archaeologists to grapple with the question of what truly happened to Sargon's army. The legend also carries a deeper symbolic meaning. In Sumerian culture, the sudden disappearance of an entire army would have been seen as a sign of divine displeasure, a warning to even the mightiest rulers that their power was ultimately subject to the will of the gods. Sargon, despite his achievements, was not immune to the whims of the divine, and this event may have served as a humbling reminder of the limits of human ambition. The vanishing army, therefore, is not just a tale of loss, it is a story about the fragility of power and the ever-present influence of the gods in the lives of mortals. Adding to the intrigue are the whispers of a curse. Some legends suggest that Sargon's army had trespassed on sacred ground, angering the gods and invoking their wrath. This narrative aligns with the Sumerian belief in the sanctity of certain places, which were considered off-limits to mortals unless they had the gods' blessing. The idea that the army's disappearance was a form of divine punishment underscores the cultural importance of respecting the boundaries between the human and the divine. As we reflect on this legend, we are reminded of the enduring power of mystery in shaping our understanding of history. The vanishing army of Sargon is a story that blurs the line between myth and reality, inviting us to consider the many ways in which the ancient Sumerians interpreted the world around them. Whether seen as a supernatural event or a historical enigma, This tale continues to captivate and challenge us, offering a glimpse into the complex relationship between the Sumerian kings and the gods they revered. With this in mind, we now turn to another cryptic legend from the annals of Sumerian history, the forbidden knowledge of the tablets, a story that delves into the dangers of seeking divine wisdom without the gods' consent. Now, as we step into the shadowy realm of forbidden wisdom, we encounter one of the most intriguing and cautionary tales of ancient Sumer, the legend of the forbidden knowledge of the tablets. This story, steeped in divine mystery and mortal ambition, reveals the Sumerians' deep reverence for the gods and their belief in the dangers of overreaching human curiosity. At its heart lies the idea that some knowledge is too powerful, too sacred for mortals to possess without dire consequences. The Sumerian tablets, often inscribed with cuneiform script, were more than just records of history or literature. They were believed to contain secrets of the universe, instructions from the gods, and insights into the very fabric of existence. Among these tablets, some were said to hold forbidden knowledge, divine wisdom that was never meant to be accessed by humans. According to myth, these tablets were created by the gods themselves, intended to preserve their most sacred teachings and protect them from misuse. The act of writing these tablets was seen as a divine act, a way for the gods to communicate their will and maintain order in the cosmos. But what made this knowledge forbidden? The legends suggest that the information contained within these tablets was not only powerful but also perilous. It included secrets about creation, the nature of the gods, and even the means to manipulate the natural world. For mortals to access such knowledge was to risk upsetting the delicate balance between the human and divine realms. The gods, in their wisdom, had placed strict boundaries around this knowledge, ensuring that only those deemed worthy, usually priests or kings with divine favor, could approach it. To seek it out without permission was to invite disaster. One of the most famous tales surrounding the forbidden tablets involves a mortal who dared to defy the god's decree. This figure, often unnamed in the myths, is said to have discovered a hidden cache of tablets containing the gods' most guarded secrets. Driven by ambition or curiosity, they attempted to decipher the inscriptions and harness the knowledge within. But the consequences were swift and severe. The gods, angered by this act of defiance, unleashed their wrath upon the mortal, cursing them with madness, misfortune, or even death. In some versions of the story, the entire community suffered as a result, facing plagues, famine, or other calamities as a form of divine retribution. The legend also carries a deeper symbolic meaning. It reflects the Sumerian belief in the importance of humility and respect for the divine order. The gods were seen as the ultimate arbiters of knowledge and power, and mortals were expected to recognize their limitations. To seek forbidden knowledge was not just an act of rebellion, it was a violation of the sacred relationship between humans and the divine. This theme resonates throughout Sumerian mythology, serving as a reminder that even the most ambitious individuals must tread carefully when dealing with forces beyond their understanding. Historical interpretations of this legend offer additional layers of insight. Some scholars suggest that the forbidden tablets may have represented early attempts to codify scientific or philosophical knowledge, which was then shrouded in myth to protect it from misuse. Others propose that the story reflects the Sumerians' awareness of the dangers of unchecked ambition, particularly in the context of royal or priestly authority. By framing certain knowledge as forbidden, the Sumerians may have sought to reinforce social hierarchies and maintain control over the dissemination of information. As we reflect on this legend, we are reminded of the timeless tension between curiosity and caution, ambition and humility. The forbidden knowledge of the tablets is not just a tale of divine punishment, it is a story about the limits of human understanding and the consequences of overreaching. It invites us to consider the ways in which ancient societies grappled with the ethical and spiritual implications of knowledge, and how these themes continue to resonate in our own world. With this in mind, we now turn to the final legend in our exploration of the ancient Sumerian kings, the promise of eternal reign. A tale that delves into the ultimate aspiration of these enigmatic rulers and their quest for immortality. As we approach the final chapter of our journey through the cryptic legends of the ancient Sumerian kings, we arrive at a tale that encapsulates the ultimate aspiration of these enigmatic rulers, the promise of eternal reign. This legend, steeped in themes of immortality and divine favor, reveals the Sumerians' profound longing to transcend the boundaries of mortality and secure a place among the gods. The concept of eternal reign was not merely a political ambition for the Sumerian kings. It was a spiritual quest. According to the myths, the gods themselves granted certain kings the promise of everlasting rule, a divine favor that elevated them above ordinary mortals. This promise was often tied to the king's ability to maintain harmony between the human and divine realms, ensuring that their rule was just and their devotion to the gods unwavering. In return, the gods would bestow upon them a form of immortality, allowing their legacy to endure long after their physical death. One of the most striking examples of this belief can be found in the story of Gilgamesh, the semi-divine king of Uruk. While Gilgamesh's quest for physical immortality ultimately ended in failure, his legend suggests that his name and deeds would live on forever, granting him a kind of eternal reign through the memory of his people. This idea reflects a broader Sumerian belief that true immortality was not about living forever in the flesh, but about achieving a lasting legacy that would be remembered and revered by future generations. The theme of divine favor is central to this legend. The Sumerian kings were seen as intermediaries between the gods and humanity, chosen by the divine to rule and protect their people. Their ability to secure eternal reign was often linked to their piety, their adherence to divine laws, and their success in maintaining order and prosperity within their kingdoms. A king who failed in these duties risked losing the favor of the gods, and with it, the promise of eternal reign. This dynamic underscores the Sumerians' belief in a reciprocal relationship between rulers and the divine, where obedience and devotion were rewarded with blessings and immortality. The legend also highlights the tension between human ambition and divine will. While the Sumerian kings aspired to eternal reign, they were ultimately subject to the whims of the gods. Their immortality was not a guarantee but a gift, one that could be revoked if they strayed from their sacred duties. This theme resonates throughout Sumerian mythology, serving as a reminder of the limits of human power and the importance of humility in the face of divine authority. Historical interpretations of this legend offer further insight into its significance. Some scholars suggest that the promise of eternal reign was a way for the Sumerians to reconcile the transient nature of human life with their desire for continuity and stability. By framing kingship as a divine institution, they created a sense of permanence and order in a world that was often unpredictable and chaotic. Others propose that the legend reflects the Sumerians' understanding of the cyclical nature of time, where the legacy of a great king could be reborn in future generations, ensuring the continuity of their civilization. As we reflect on this final legend, we are reminded of the enduring human desire to transcend mortality and leave a lasting mark on the world. The promise of eternal reign is not just a tale of divine favor. It is a story about the power of legacy, the importance of devotion, and the delicate balance between human ambition and divine will. It invites us to consider the ways in which ancient societies sought to make sense of their place in the cosmos, and how these themes continue to resonate in our own quest for meaning and immortality. With this, we conclude our exploration of the 35 cryptic legends of the ancient Sumerian kings. These tales, rich with mystery and wisdom, offer a glimpse into a civilization that sought to understand the divine, the natural world, and the human condition. As we close this chapter, we invite you to share your thoughts on these legends and to join us for more journeys into the shadows of history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest explorations. Until next time, may the stories of the past continue to inspire and enlighten. As we bring our journey through the 35 cryptic legends of the ancient Sumerian kings to a close, it's impossible not to marvel at the depth and richness of these tales. Each story, from the immortal quest of Gilgamesh to the divine promises of eternal reign, offers a unique window into the beliefs, values, and aspirations of one of history's most fascinating civilizations. These legends are more than just myths. They are reflections of a society grappling with the mysteries of life, death, and the divine, striving to make sense of their place in the cosmos. The enduring allure of these tales lies in their ability to transcend time. Even thousands of years later, the themes of ambition, devotion, and the quest for immortality resonate deeply with us. They remind us that the human desire to leave a lasting legacy, to connect with something greater than ourselves, is as old as civilization itself. The Sumerian kings, through their stories, continue to speak to us, offering wisdom and insight that remains relevant in our modern world. These legends also highlight the intricate relationship between humanity and the divine in Sumerian culture. The kings were not just rulers, they were intermediaries tasked with maintaining harmony between the earthly and the celestial. Their successes and failures, their triumphs and curses, all served as lessons in the delicate balance of power, humility, and devotion. Through their stories, we gain a deeper understanding of how the Sumerians viewed their gods, their world, and their own mortality. But perhaps what makes these legends truly captivating is their mystery. Despite centuries of study, many aspects of Sumerian mythology remain shrouded in uncertainty. The cryptic nature of these tales invites us to explore, to question, and to imagine. They challenge us to piece together the fragments of a lost world, to uncover the truths hidden within the myths, and to appreciate the complexity of a civilization that continues to inspire awe and wonder. As we conclude this exploration, we invite you to reflect on these legends and share your thoughts. Which story resonated with you the most? What mysteries do you think still lie buried in the sands of ancient Sumer? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspectives and continue the conversation. If you've enjoyed this journey through the cryptic legends of the ancient Sumerian kings, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exploration into the shadows of history. There are countless more mysteries waiting to be uncovered, and we can't wait to share them with you. Until next time, may the stories of the past continue to inspire and enlighten. Thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure.